I'm going to show you how to make a pair of earrings that matches a bracelet that I've made in a previous tutorial. This is the bracelet. These are the earrings. It's the same stitch exactly. We're just attaching an ear wire instead of clasping, and of course making it shorter. You can make these any length you'd like. I'm making mine 5 units long. They make a pretty nice drop that way. Of course, you can make them shorter, longer, or whatever you'd like. Let's go ahead and look and see what it takes to make this project. Okay, for this project you'll need some 11/0 seed beads. This is a Toho metallic bronze, and then 2 ear wires, of course, and I'm using a French wire in copper, antique copper, and then 10 4mm crystal cubes. This is a Chinese crystal, and it is an opaque light blue color. I'm also going to be using 8-pound Fireline in the smoke color and a size 12 beading needle. Thread onto your needle about a little over an arm's length of thread, just to make sure you have enough. So stretch one arm out, measure from your fingertips to just beyond your shoulder, and then we'll get started. Okay, to start this project, you're going to pick up 6 11/0 seed beads onto your needle. We're going to do the same stitch we did in the bracelet design. We're going to bring all 6 of these seed beads to the end of the thread. You don't have to leave a long tail, but do leave enough to hold on to. And then come back through. Let me move some of this stuff out of my way. Come back through the first 3 beads on your tail side. So once you've come through those 3 beads, hold on to them and the tail and just pull your needle through. Then pull on the tail and the working thread and just bring the 3 beads on top of the first 3 you just went through. And then go back through the second set. So you're coming out here, your tail is here also, come through the second set of beads. Hold on to them and pull your tail, or pull your working thread through. And then go back up the first set where the tail is. That's just to secure and tighten the stitch. Once you have done that, then we're going to go ahead and put our ear wire on. So what you need to do is make sure your ear wire is closed. So look at the top of the ear wire, of the loop on the ear wire, that is, and make sure, mine has a little bead, so I have to move that little bead out of the way. Make sure it's closed tightly by opening it, by twisting it, and then close it by twisting it back. And make sure that it is closed tightly against the straight wire. And then set that aside and pick up 3 11/0 seed beads and drop them down to your stitching. Then pick up the ear wire. Just go through it with your needle and drop it down. And then once you have done that, go through the first 2 11/0 seed beads right here. Just hold on to everything between your fingers and pull your needle through. Now we've come through on this side of our 3 beads, so where the tail is we need to go back through, but first we're going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead. So pick up an 11/0 and then go back through this side of the 3 beads here. Hold on to them and pull your needle through. Straighten everything out and you should have something that looks like this. Now we're going to sew back up through the ear wire. So we need to go, we're coming out of this 11/0 seed bead here. We're going to come up through this one and pull the thread through. Give a little tug, and then go up through the 2 underneath the ear wire, and then through the ear wire, just like that. Pull it through. Don't worry about which way your ear wire is at this point, because we can turn it over and use either side depending upon the direction of the ear wire. So now I've gone through the ear wire. I'm going to come back down through these 2 11-0s and into the 11-0 on the opposite side from which I started, underneath the 2 that are attached to the ear wire, and pull my thread through. And then I will go back into these 3 11-0 where the tail is. Going through the ear wire just one extra time is probably enough reinforcement, considering this is an earring and it's not going to get a whole lot of tugging on it. We hope, anyway. So now I'm just going to get rid of this tail thread because it's in my way. So I'm just going to use my thread burner. You can cut it off and use a lighter to burn down the excess if you'd like. Good enough for now. I can burn that little tiny bit I left down a little bit more when I'm finished. And now this is what you should have. And just turn it. See how your ear wire wants to go. If it wants to go the other direction, then turn your piece over. But just try to arrange it to where your ear wire is the proper direction. And then go through the 3 11-0 underneath the 3 you're coming out of. So we're coming out right here. We're going to go down into these 3. And then we're going to begin putting our crystal cubes in. So you're going to pick up 1 11-0 seed bead and a crystal cube and 1 11-0 seed bead, just like this. And you're going to go into the opposite side of the 3 beads you're coming out of. We back off just slightly. Pull that down, and that's what that should look like. You have 1 11-0 on just the edge of both sides of the cube. And then you're coming out here, go into the 11-0 right next to where you're coming out of that you just put on, and pull the thread through. Make sure everything is tight, and then go through the cube. Now you will pick up 5 11-0 seed beads, and then just go through the other side of the cube. So you're coming out this side, come into the opposite side. Pull these 5 11-0 seed beads down. I'm going to turn my piece, and I am then going to go into just 1 11-0 seed bead next to where my thread is coming out of the cube. And then I'm going to turn my piece sideways and go through the 3 11-0 seed beads right here. We're going through them separately like this to maintain the shape we want. And then go into the 1 11-0 on this side. Just like that. And then pick up an 11-0 seed bead and go into the seed bead across from where you're coming out. So you're coming out here, pick up an 11-0 and go into this one and pull your thread through. And then go through the 3 on top of the crystal on this side here. Then turn the piece and go through the 1 11-0 on this side. Just like this. And then pick up an 11-0 seed bead and go into the seed bead and fill the gap between them, like this. Then go down into the 3 seed beads on the bottom of the crystal here. Pick up 3 11-0 seed beads and go into the opposite end from which you're coming out and pass through all 3 seed beads. Pull these new 3 down and arrange them, and then go back up through them. Like this. And then go back through the 2 above them, just to secure them, and then back through the 3 new ones. Make sure everything is arranged nicely, and then we will add another crystal cube. Pick up an 11-0 seed bead, a crystal cube, and an 11-0 seed bead, and go through the opposite side of the 3 11-0s you're coming out of. Pull these down, arrange it so that the crystal cube lays between the 2 11-0s that you put on your thread. And then turn your piece and go through the 11-0 next to where your thread is coming out. Tighten everything, and then go through the cube again. Just like this. Then pick up 5 11-0 seed beads. Like this. And then go into the opposite side of the crystal and pull these down. Sew through the 11-0 here. Sew through the 3 11-0s here. And yes, I know my thumb is on top of it, but if you hold it like I'm doing, things will maintain their shape better. So every time you pull your thread through, if you hold onto your piece, you're less likely to pull things out of whack. Now we're coming out here, go into this 11-0 seed bead right here. Pick up an 11-0 seed bead, and then go into the seed bead next to the one you're coming out of and place the new 11-0 between them. Sew through the 3 on this side. Sew through the 1 on this side. And again, pick up an 11-0 seed bead and place it between the 2 11-0s on this side of the crystal. Pull everything tight and go up into the 3 seed beads here. Again, pick up 3 11-0 seed beads. Go into the opposite side of the 3 you're coming out of and go through all 3 beads. Pull the beads that you have on your thread down so that they lay next to the beads on your piece. And then go through them. And then go through the 3 you're attaching to. And then back through the 3 that you just put on. And again, let's add a crystal. Pick up 1 11-0 seed bead, 1 crystal, 1 11-0 seed bead, and go through the opposite side of the 3 11-0s you're coming out of. Pull it down, arrange it, and then go through the 11-0 next to where your thread is coming out of. Now we're coming out of this 11-0 seed bead. go into the crystal. Pick up 5 11-0 seed beads. Go into the opposite side of the crystal and pull them down. Then sew through the 1 11-0 closest to where your thread is coming out. Sew through the 3 11-0s behind it, and then the 1 11-0 seed bead on this side. Pick up an 11-0 seed bead and cross over to the 11-0 next to the one you're coming out of. Then sew down into the 3 on this side. Then again, sew through 1 11-0 seed bead on this side and pick up an 11-0 and go through the one next to the one you're coming out of, popping an 11-0 seed bead between them. Then go down into your 3 11-0s here. Pick up 3 11-0 seed beads. Go into the opposite side. Pull them down. Go into the 3 11-0s you just put on. Go back into the 3 you're attaching to. And back into the 3 you just put on. Again, pick up an 11-0 seed bead, a crystal, and an 11-0. Go into the opposite side of the 3 beads you're coming out of. Pull them down. Go through the 11-0 closest to where your thread is, or your needle is coming out, and then into the crystal. Very repetitive. We'll do this 5 times. However, you can make this as long or short as you want. You could do it just 3 crystals, or you can do it 15 crystals. It's up to you. I'm going to make mine 5 crystals long. So once you've come out of the crystal, then you're going to pick up 5 11-0 seed beads. I'm sorry, my needle is getting bent. I've used it for several hours now, and it's messing with me. And then go through the opposite side of the crystal. I'm going to turn my piece just so I can get to it better, and then I'm going to go through 1 11-0 seed bead. You back up just a little now that we basically know what we're doing here. And then go through the 3 on this side, and then the 1 here. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the 11-0 next to the one you're coming out of. Go through the 3 11-0s here. And then go through the 11-0 on this side and place an 11-0 seed bead by going through the one next to the one you're coming out of. This is what you should have so far. Go down into the 3 11-0s here, and we'll make one more unit. So pick up 3 11-0 seed beads, go into the 11-0s on the opposite side, pull them down. Go through the 3 11-0s you just put on, back through the ones you're attaching to, and then back through the 3 you just put on. The reason I'm doing that is it gives this much more consistency. It keeps these beads from rolling on top of each other, and it makes the piece stronger. Pick up an 11-0 seed bead, a crystal, and an 11-0. Go into the opposite side of the 3 beads you're coming out of. I'm going to turn the piece and go through this 111 here and then through the crystal. I am then going to pick up 5 11 seed beads and go back through the crystal on the opposite side. So through 1 11 seed bead, so through 3 11 seed beads, so through 1 11 seed bead, and then pick up an 11 and go through the one next to it. Pass through the 3 on top, go through the 1 here, and then pick up 1 11 seed bead and go through here. Now I have my 5 crystals on, and I'm just going to go through these 3 here, and then I'm going to tie a knot right here between these 2 beads. I'm going to go underneath the little piece of thread that's between them, and I'm going to create a circle with my thread and go through it with my needle, and then pull that knot down. And in order to actually tighten it and hide it, I'm going to go through these 3 beads here. And then I'll go through these 3 again. And these 3 on this side, just to shape it up a little nicer. And I will tie another knot right here. Fingers work. Okay. And then I'm just going to go through these 3 one more time. And then I will cut my thread off. And now I have a nice dangly earring. And like I said, you could make these, and this is the match. And let me show you. You could make these as long or as short as you'd like. Maybe you just want 3 beads on it. Maybe you want 10 beads on it. It's hard to say. 7, 8, it doesn't matter. You just keep doing it the same way and end it the same way. Start it the same way. It's all the same thing, just depending upon how long or short you want your earrings to be. And they go really well with the bracelet. Let me show you. See if I can get everything in camera here. That's a cute little set, if I do say so myself. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. See you later. Bye-bye.